At only 6 years of age, this child already stands apart, watched closely by the state. Officials whisper his name carefully, labeling the boy a danger to national balance. With one clean strike, no hesitation, no buildup, the moment turns irreversible. That single blow carries enough force to erase what should never fall. A level 6 monster, once a national threat, collapses and disappears completely. You might ask how a child reached power that bends rules and reason. Number, I'll tell you. In a former life, he pushed his body and will beyond limits to gain strength. That path was soaked in cruelty. Warriors broken under his hands without mercy. By every standard, he was not a savior. He was the story's villain. Fate answered his rise by sending someone meant to stop him. Even facing greater raw power, the hero refused to retreat. The hero Shenryan invoked a divine technique beyond mortal tolerance. The clash ended with both erased, bodies and souls consumed together. Death was not the end. He awakened reborn in the Miramira. There, his training grew harsher, surpassing even his brutal past life. Yet destiny repeated itself. That same man stood before him again. This time the opponent's presence felt heavier, sharper, far more dangerous. Their conflict stretched on, days bleeding together under relentless combat. When silence finally returned, the result was painfully familiar. Defeat claimed him once more. No excuses, no escape. Again he trained, refined his body, emptied his mind through meditation. He mastered chi until it moved as naturally as breath. He learned techniques so sharp they could split mountains with nothing. At the peak, Shimrian appeared and spoke without emotion. Not today, friend. Death followed, and reincarnation claimed him for the 5th time. This time he forged a massive army, crushing foes endlessly until sanity cracked. Another loss would demand several more rebirths just to endure himself. Even madness could not erase the pattern chasing him. That man appeared again, unchanged, unavoidable, waiting. Their collision shook everything. Power meeting, power without restraint. For a moment, victory finally seemed within his grasp. But history repeated, and loss closed in once more. Even hundreds of rebirths would not loosen that pursuit. No matter where he fled, the man followed his shadow. This marked his 6th return to the world. He entered life again, trapped in the body of a newborn. And here, at only 6 years old, the boy called Yung Wu had already slain a level 6 threat demon. In this life, he refuses to fall to the hero again, resolve hardened by memory. Even more so in a world filled with awakened individuals rising everywhere. A world where human-forged weapons barely scratch demon flesh. Stress gnaws at him, hair thinning as the shadow of defeat lingers. After a demon falls, silence settles over the ruined site. Soon after, a hunter reaches the location to investigate. Reviewing the security footage, he finds only a 6-year-old boy. He cannot grasp what kind of monster this child may become. More alarming, 2 boys with unnatural strength appeared together. Such timing feels far beyond coincidence. And of course, the identity of this boy is already known. Back home, the protagonist spends his time playing casually. His mother interrupts, her voice sharp with concern. He claims training, prompting her to ask if he plans to hit classmates again. The contrast alone makes the moment almost absurd to witness. A legendary martial master, feared across countless eras. A man who lived through 5 complete lives, crushing and breaking warriors without mercy, now stands scolded by an ordinary woman. He does not even choose what appears on his plate. It matters little if he shattered nations or defied gods. When his mother declares dinner is broccoli, broccoli is what he eats, without question. At school, a boy boasts that he will defeat Youngwoo today, despite having lost to him many times before. He even trained a new technique with his father for this. The power behind it is undeniably real. With a single strike, a tree is shattered apart under the force. His rage burns from being humiliated before the girl he admired. He wonders if Youngwoo will attend Kang's birthday to be embarrassed. Suddenly, Youngwoo appears, calmly stating that he will. Among the children, he stands as the unquestioned boss. Even now, a hint of darkness shows on his face. Later, at the Golden River clan house, the birthday celebration is already underway. Youngwoo truly arrives at the event. Kane beams with joy as he greets everyone present. The protagonist watches, clearly uninterested in the spectacle. Suddenly, a blonde girl steps into the room. She stole the spotlight instantly, a familiar face from commercials drawing every eye. Kang rushed forward to welcome her, eager and loud, claiming the moment. Youngwoo felt only disgust. At that age, faces blurred. Boys and girls meant nothing. Kang, on the other hand, softened fast, completely taken by the blonde girl. The girl named Harry soon shifted focus, scanning the room with interest. Spotting a handsome boy, she moved in and began casual chatter without hesitation. Tan ended up forgotten, stranded alone at the edge of the room. His face flushed fast, turning brighter than a bell pepper under heat. Rage followed. He snapped at Youngwoo, ordering him to stay away from Hara. Deep down, Kang only wanted control, to rule the playground like a king. Youngwoo cared about one thing only, knowing when the cake would be served. Later, inside the Patriarch's chamber, news arrived about his son's birthday party. The Golden River clan leader only smirked, seeing through the childish excuse. The meeting existed for a reason. The clan leader carried a cursed rift core. The others insisted it be discarded immediately, before consequences followed. He dismissed them all, refusing to part with it. In his mind, a small curse could never threaten him. Without warning, the entire area trembled violently. Back in the birthday hall, chaos filled the air. A crater tore through the wall. Youngwoo stood embedded at its center. The blow had come straight from the boy, heavy and unchecked. Kang felt pleased, proud of the power behind his strike. Was crushing a classmate normal now, especially during your own birthday? The crowd buzzed, convinced Kang was something special. He even boasted loudly, claiming he would protect Hara from Youngwoo. She never said she was afraid. Not once did she ask for protection. She calmly warned him. Youngwoo had not actually lost yet. Anger flared. The boy insisted he took the hit directly. The girl only asked if he wanted to place a bet. That was when realization finally struck. Hara possessed the eyes of God, able to read an opponent's condition. Simply put, the boy had never been defeated. The truth arrived too late to change anything. Youngwoo said he allowed the punch, calling it a birthday gift. The statement left the boy stunned, unsure how to react. After 6 reincarnations, he felt that much courtesy was fair. Now the turn shifted. The counterattack was coming. Youngwoo launched at Kang, moving at a speed beyond reason. He was determined to end it here, making sure the boy never dared challenge him again. Kang begged for it to stop, but the moment had already passed. The mansion trembled once more, walls groaning under the force. The Patriarch noticed the disturbance and grew curious. He prepared to investigate who was clashing with Ken. The assistant stopped him, bringing up the rift core instead. Even the awakened clan leader died after obtaining that core. He urged the Patriarch to hand it over so it could be destroyed. The Patriarch answered calmly, admitting he had already lost it. He spoke as if misplacing nothing more than a car key. Attention shifted back to the party. The children stared in shock at what they saw. Youngwoo had been thrown once again across the room. His cane slipped from his grip. Yet the boy's presence felt abnormal, heavy, and dangerous. This time, the blonde girl was truly terrified. She screamed for everyone to run. At that moment, the hunter from before arrived at the mansion. He was tracking the child seen in the footage, and he assumed Kang was that boy. Panic spread as the children fled in all directions. Ken had completely lost control of himself. Hera pleaded with him to calm down. He answered coldly, saying he would kill anyone in his path. He even lashed out at her. Was he not the one who claimed he would protect her? Any trace of reason was gone. So was the image of his imaginary girlfriend, and likely a few teeth soon after. On the verge of fainting, Hera prayed for someone to save her. The boy advanced straight toward her. Suddenly, he was hurled away at full speed. Youngwoo rose with a demonic expression carved on his face. Without letting his rival land, Youngwoo struck again mid-air. Kangshan felt the blow, his grin vanishing into pure pain. Memories flooded back to where everything first began. He recalled winning the martial arts tournament, filled with joy, while his father stayed cold. His father warned him not to boast over what was expected. Holding the trophy, Ken-chun felt tears gather, shrinking under the weight. Then his father gently placed a hand on his head. With a wide grin, he openly congratulates the boy, sealing the moment as a clear victory. The praise restores Ken-chan's lost joy and pride in a single breath. His memories snap back, pain fades, shadows return, and blame locks onto Hee Jung-woo. Crashing down from the final blow, he admits his father praised him only once. Before another word escapes, a fresh punch cuts him off cold. The strike drives the boy straight into the wall with crushing force. The protagonist ignores the childish rivalry, holding that sharp, cruel smile. Ken-chan rises slowly, confused by the reaction he just received. The message is clear. His weakness is no one's fault but his own. That truth drags the demonic look back, red eyes burning with rage. He surges up for a counter, so fast the onlooker barely tracks him. A clean kick shatters Young Lu's threatening stance in moments. The impact sends him spinning through the air into the wall. The prodigy lies there, fury and pain colliding inside him. Kai and Sharon stand tall again, wrapped in red malice, echoing his words. His face twists beyond recognition, something fit only for exorcism. In Lee Holdick's room, the clan leader endures scolding over the lost cursed artifact. His assistant tears through the room, shouting angrily for him to help search. Leader Lee doubts the curse could affect someone so strong, yet his assistant, lacking details, clearly fears the rumors of cursed chords that control their hosts, just like what grips Ken-chun now. As the boy relentlessly batters Young Woo, L finally understands. He is possessed. Young Woo spits blood he barely has left after the crushing blow. Once more, his body is hurled hard into another wall. Ken-chan grows deeper in that dark aura, mocking his rival as he marks him. He sneers that the rival always thought himself special, eyes glowing, smile sharp. Ken-chan recalls finding a strange stone on his father's shelf. The beautiful blue stone called to him, promising boundless power. Drawn in, the boy grabbed it without hesitation, seeking strength. The instant he touched it, power surged, energy wrapping everything around him. He tells his rival how badly he wants victory. Remembering his rise, the wicked prodigy laughs again, his twisted humor showing no limits. Peter K. and Sean stare in fury, unable to grasp what amuses him. Flatter Young Woo clever, shaped by many reincarnations, explains the demon is only pretending to be Kang-chun. The boy hates those words and tries to silence him with a punch. This time the strike misses, cleanly dodged. He counters fast, seizing Kang-chun by the hair. He grinds it in, boasting he outclasses any second-rate demon. Kang-chun's face is smashed, the final spark that breaks him. Hatred floods him, body failing, so he strikes back with words alone. Wearing a matching demonic stare, Hajumbu pins him, revealing the boy hosts a parasite. Being mocked as a worm finally snaps the demon's restraint, drawing its violent intent forward. The smaller monster moves first, catching the attacking hand before impact with effortless speed. The boy freezes for a brief moment, caught off guard by the sudden reversal. That shock ends instantly as his face is driven straight into the wall. Natty finally feels pain as the cold surface presses against him. Badajangu shows no concern, advancing slowly while his opponent realizes this. Kane is unhinged. Cruel delight spreads across the villain's face, confirming the truth that he is a monster. The demon inside the boy accepts it needs a stronger vessel to continue. As if answering that need, an unaware singular enters the room, asking what is happening. Without context or warning, the young man starts questioning them about Kang-chun. Confusion hits when the boy suddenly grips him around the waist. He asks if the boy is the one he seeks, and Lai instantly senses something wrong. A massive black aura engulfs them as the singular begins screaming uncontrollably. Before resistance forms, it is already over, possession complete. With the demon abandoning little Kang-chan, Melon stands before a new host. The singular's eyes glow differently now, fully controlled as the demon declares the end. They rush to the hall entrance only to face a scene beyond understanding. His son lies drained on the floor, defenseless, igniting the clan leader's fury. He demands the obvious answer, asking if the singular caused the boy's condition. "You should leave while you can. I'm in a bad mood." That reply pushes Holbeck to release his power, smiling as he says, "All are you cranky." He admits his strange laughter came from pure nervous tension. The clan leader lunges at absurd speed, unleashing a deadly strike. One blow obliterates an entire side of the hall. The possessed singular endures it, even surpassing prior Lee generations, clutching the shattered arm. Despite the damage, he still threatens the man who reduced him to ruins. That fury fades quickly, replaced by stunned disbelief. The muscle-bound leader still stands firm, fist tight, ready again, without pause. Holbeck unleashes celestial annihilation once more, forcing the possessed deeper into stone. The impact dislodges the hidden blue stone from its concealment. The assistant notices instantly, recognizing the cursed rift core. He shouts urgently, practically commanding the leader to retrieve it. The brute moves to comply without hesitation. Before his hand reaches it, the stone disappears completely. Ha Jung-woo, waiting for the moment, moves faster and claims it first. The assistant panics again, warning of its danger and demanding immediate removal. Jung-woo remains indifferent, waving farewell to the demon, intent on destroying it, as the spirit offers power in exchange. The boy only laughs at its ignorance. Deciding it ends now, he closes his hand, shattering the stone without debate. The clan leader and assistant stand frozen, shocked by the loss of such value. The boy keeps crushing what remains, grinding the stone until nothing but dust remains. Above them, the sky stays clear, blue and unchanged. Outside the clan mansion, parents finally reunite with their children. The clan leader's assistant moves through the crowd apologizing, while medics tend the injured. Through tall windows framed by curtains, calm has fully returned. Inside, the assistant treats the clan heir, who complains of pain, joking that he remembers nothing at all. Sean feels certain now, watching the boy's demeanor normalize as he cries, fearing friends will shun him and his birthday is ruined. He recalls being beaten, but Chan quickly brushes it off, calling it a bad dream. The boy notices his father is missing, and Tron hesitates, unsure what to say. A sudden noise upstairs pulls both their attention. Kangshin nervously asks what is happening, while the assistant only mutters, "Elsewhere." A young man resembling Lee Hogak is slammed to the floor. Collapsing at the clan master's feet, he appears to surrender completely. Hajumwoo watches with his usual bored expression. The young man kneels beside the clan leader, witnessing the scene. This is the clam eater's eldest son, begging his father for forgiveness. Lee Hoga meets Ha Jung-woo directly, realizing he defeated his younger son. The boy calmly asks if he is being accused. Lee Ho-guk explains the misunderstanding, realizing his son was controlled by the artifact, like Park Sum-ho. The boy listens carefully to every conclusion. He learns this was why he was matched against the older brother, who lost easily. Ajamu smiles again, pride quietly surfacing. The clan leader grows excited, asking if the boy wants to spar with him as well. Ajamu does not see a challenge, only stubborn pride, answering with an awkward smile. The eldest son rushes to stop it, reminding his father Ajamu is Kanchun's friend. Holbeck ignores the plea and repeats the challenge with enthusiasm. The eldest son grows tense, convinced this will end badly. Ajamu smiles, accepts casually, and asks if it is free. The question erases all doubt, convincing the brother the boy is insane. Lee Holbeck claps his hands, bursting into delighted laughter. With tears in his eyes, he praises the boy's courage and spirit. Sounding almost instructional, he tells Ha Jung-woo that power and courage must align. Internally, the boy thinks the leader is simple and ignorant. Holbeck assumes fear and asks directly, receiving a flat denial. The leader's excitement spikes, his grin stretching wider. The boy teases him, asking if he is the one feeling nervous. The leader attacks in a flash, admitting he did hesitate. Hajumwoo leaves no opening, slipping past the punch effortlessly. More rapid strikes follow, relentless and sharp. The small monster evades until crashing into a pillar, giving the brute his opening. He activates the celestial dragon fist. The blow slams straight into the boy. Kang Churn and Assistant Charm sprint toward the crash, moving fast to stop chaos. Xiong panics, fearing Lee Hugak may cross a line against a 9-year-old. They freeze as a body flies past, smashing into a wall before their eyes. The clam leader lies crumpled on the ground, silent and clearly unconscious. The wall is torn open, the gap far larger than anyone expected. Heavy footsteps echo from the broken stone and drifting dust. A familiar smile surfaces, pulling old memories from 10 long years ago. Young Roo steps out at 17, lifting his beerphones after hearing his name. That smile looks untouched, unchanged by everything that passed. A-Jump studies the hole, noticing it has never been repaired. Kangshan greets him like an old friend, calmly asking why he is here. The young man points out the hole, wondering why it stayed for 10 years. Kangshan explains simply, his father would never permit repairs. Lee Holdick appears, questioning why anyone would erase that mark. He calls it his first defeat, but Jum shuts it down. Defeat is no trophy. Even the leader agrees, losing to a brat is nothing to praise. Bo the manic grin laughs it off, saying Ha Jung-woo is truly powerful. He strikes without warning, convinced the boy cannot match him. The young man barely slips past the thunderstrike, startled by the greeting. The attack veers off, crashing into Kang-chan instead. Drunk on excitement, the father keeps praising the divine chai from Jung-woo. The boy recalls past lives, never once sharing power so freely. He smiles now, knowing Murim is gone. This life is just for fun. Beside him, Kang-chun staggers up, yelling for it to stop. Only then does Lee Holduck realize the mistake and cuts the lightning. His son trembles, struggling to stand even for a second. Anger flares. He shouts at his father for using that power carelessly. Assistant Shang arrives, backing the clan head. That power had a cost. Ajamu looks lost, scratching his head, searching his memory. Chang states the price, 10 billion won. While Young-woo feigns ignorance, they argue over the sum, until the young man admits remembering. The assistant reminds him of threatening to sell it elsewhere. Young-woo defends himself, saying the money was needed then. Chom turns serious, reminding him he is not McLean vice leader. Jum gives up arguing, content with high pay from part-time work. Poldek laughs it away, hugging them both, saying the past made them stronger. A girl suddenly calls Young-woo by a cute nickname, pulling his focus. She leaps up, hugging his waist, leaving him completely baffled. He scolds her gently, asking who taught her to call him darling. Hurin, Hulda, youngest daughter, points straight at her father, his face filled with pride. Wearing a bold, shameless grin, he declares he will do anything to make Young-woo his son-in-law. Young-woo freezes, thinking about a child taught to call him darling while pinching his cheeks. Holcott ignores the boy feelings, warning that his wife and the boy mother are close friends. Already furious, the boy wonders aloud if he should beat the man again. Mocking him openly, the leader laughs about his son-in-law wanting a fight, fueling Young-woo anger. In one last try, Holdoff asks about the future, but Young-woo walks off holding the child, saying he does not know. Lee Hulvik stays curious, noticing the power gap narrowed despite the divine chi. Sodya urges his daughter to hurry and intercept him first, her confidence obvious. Hee Jung-woo watches him silently, judging without a word. The boy and Kang-chun move down the sidewalk together. The clan successor asks if they will truly be brothers-in-law, but the answer stays uncertain. He shifts topics, asking if Young-woo plans to focus on magic. Confused, he asks what Young-woo believes he lacks. Young-woo stops, explaining swordsmanship is his strength, yet his style remains incomplete, stunning Kan-chun. Ha Young-woo says carrying a sword openly would draw unwanted attention. Inside, he seeks greater strength, sensing he may face his past enemy again. They arrive at Singular Academy, where powered humans train and graduate. Crowds fill the gates, cheering loudly for friends and family. The two feel overwhelmed by the sheer number of people. Soon, they notice confusion as strangers shout different names at them. Several girls rush forward with excitement. Kangshan feels puzzled, knowing who they mean and seeing little resemblance. The truth hits. The real stars stand behind them, one ordering him aside. The girls follow, telling them to move away. One popular guy shoves Kangshan aside with a slap. The boy stares in shock, struck by a girl idol. Rage spikes as he hears them insult him as an ugly obstacle. He struggles to grasp why they see him that way. His temper rises fast. inherited from his father. It fades instantly when a blonde idol is hurled between him and his friend. A drummer watches in stunned silence. Worry spreads as Kang Shun asks what just happened. A new figure steps through the crowd, jaw clenched tight. A boy with suited followers advances, pressuring the clan successor. Kai and Shun finally realize the man is Park Kyo. Jiang Wu simply watches, unmoving. The man introduces himself as a Black Tiger Clan rookie, scar and tattoo on display. Kenshin senses the moment to teach the rival successor a lesson. As he moves to act, Jungwoo stops him, gripping his arm firmly. He tries to protest the situation, yet the boy's stance is firm and unmoving for unclear reasons. With only a slight tilt of his head, he silently signals everything to his nearby friend. It becomes clear the girls also intended to confront the arrogant man who struck their idol. Even facing that pressure, the man shows no fear or hesitation at all. Enraged, the girls shout demands, forcing him to take responsibility for harming the celebrity. Meanwhile, the blonde man struggles up, relying heavily on support from his companions. The Black Tiger Clan successor stays rooted, unmoved by the piercing screams around him. He calmly explains he never apologizes, his tone carrying even greater arrogance. Wearing a relaxed smile, he says he will make an exception since they insist so strongly. The girls recoil in shock as he casually stretches his hand toward them. A strange green mist begins to form slowly within his open palm. The haze condenses, shaping itself into a glossy green apple. He tosses the apple toward them, treating it like fair compensation. The girls stare in confusion, sensing ridicule and failing to grasp its purpose. Moments later, the apple bursts, releasing green smoke that engulfs every girl. They collapse coughing and choking, voices breaking as they cry for help. The Black Tiger successor and his group sneer coldly, mocking their expressions. He lectures them harshly about meddling uninvited, while his allies belittle them openly. The affected girls slump helplessly on the ground, still begging desperately for aid. His response is cold and brief, stating their suffering is entirely their own fault. Without warning, Kang and Cheon charges Park Tae-ho, stepping past the fallen girls to strike. The punch is stopped by a sharp kick, both fighters locking into equal balance. The arrogant tiger mocks him, warning meddling will ruin him like his father and shame his clan. Yuzin answers without fear, hurling the same words back with crushing force. Nearby, students gather quickly, filming and watching the successors clash. Youngwoo continues to observe calmly, trusting his friend to manage alone. Burning with anger, Kang Chun demands to know why Park Ki-do poisoned harmless girls. The man shrugs it off, dismissing the accusation as if nothing happened. Behind them, the girls suddenly recover, confused and unaware of what occurred. With a mocking grin, Park Ki-do claims he only blocked an arrogant celebrity path. Kang Shun turns to the watching crowd, seeking support and confirmation. None side with him, yet all admit the blonde idol abuses fame constantly. Hajamu laughs nervously, realizing the rival is twisting the situation skillfully. Sean Ovely grows furious and begins shouting angrily at the surrounding boys. Using the distraction, the Black Tiger successor quietly prepares his next strike. By the time Noam Kainshaw senses danger, the snake-like attack is nearly upon him. Still, he reacts in time, gripping the arm and launching a clean counter. For a brief moment, the tiger followers tense in visible concern. Even the girls now cheer loudly, urging Kang Chun to punish the delinquent. Standing in control, the boy calmly asks if he should strike, stating arrogance deserves correction. Liu reacts, and Park Ki-ho snaps back, hurling curses at his rival without restraint. Wakenshaun steadies himself, confidence rising after reading his foe. Poison useless here. The pressure fails completely. The tiger successor only smiles, calm and unshaken. He seizes Kangshan's arm, the motion sharp, like a practiced trick unfolding. Even Young-woo senses something wrong, an unease cutting through the moment. Before it escalates, an academy representative steps in, halting the chaos. He commands them to retreat. Kangshan yields slowly, the rival still standing proud. The boy burns with rage and says this isn't over, voice tight and sharp. His opponent turns away, telling him to give up, leaving no doubt. The official faces the crowd, ordering everyone to proceed with their tests. The first trial begins. The sprite takes the stage. Jungo and Chiangqian sip their sodas, acting like nothing just happened. Our protagonist mutters a harsh remark, making his friends spray soda everywhere. He wipes his mouth, deflects the insult, claiming he'd never act before their teacher. Hajumwoo warns him not to start fights he cannot finish. Consequences wait. With a crooked smirk, he adds that Part QO must think he's an idiot. Heinz Schand looks shaken and guilty, his friend watching coldly, no remorse shown. Youngwoo suddenly grabs his arm, the movement quick, startling the boy. He calmly asks what he's doing, tone flat, eyes locked forward. The coat sleeve lifts, revealing clear finger marks left behind. The dark prodigy recognizes the chi absorption technique and grows uneasy. That realization means only one thing: another reincarnated being is present. The scene remains within the Singular Specialization Academy grounds. Ajamum frowns, worry surfacing as memories of a past life return. He remembers his fifth life, a sect member battling common enemies. He cut through them easily, sword moving without hesitation. After 13 fell, he aimed for 8 more before resting. Then a voice called out, its path pulling his attention aside. Another youth his age had already captured every remaining enemy. With a maniacal expression, he said he wouldn't leave any for Youngwoo to enjoy. One captured enemy was a girl, crying and begging to live. The maniac covered her mouth, silencing every desperate sound. Wearing a terrifying smile, he said he soon put her to sleep. He activated the chi absorption technique without pause. The girl's eyes widened, veins spreading across her face. Red energy beams surged, pure force converging on the maniac. Youngwoo shielded himself, bracing against the energy while watching. In that instant, he understood something far greater was unfolding. The captives were losing their life force, drained steadily. All of them were being sucked dry at once, bodies failing together. At last, the strange man stops, exhaling deeply. Like someone finishing an overwhelming feast, he surveys the fallen bodies and calmly asks if Youngwoo defeated them one by one. Ben answers that eliminating them together is simply more efficient. Despite his strength, the protagonist recalls this man caused him unusual difficulty. He remembers losing vital energy because of him during a critical fight, even in victory. Digging deeper into memory, another name surfaces clearly: the Blood Scholar. At death's edge, that encounter revealed a crucial truth. On his knees, the man regretted not draining the power of 10,000 humans to ascend. Walking toward the test grounds, Youngwoo remembers the blood spirit body's terror. He recalls Seer Moon praising the Blood Scholar, who challenged him after draining 3,000 lives. In his final breath, the man even vowed to reincarnate and finish his power to destroy him. Still, Youngwoo restrains judgment, needing proof that Park Tito is truly that reincarnation. Hangsham's voice snaps him back as the boy approaches. Youngwoo asks why his friend delays the test, but the boy fixates on the marks. A loudspeaker calls candidates to testing areas as Kang Chun voices complaints. The prodigy smoothly shifts topics, urging his friend to test, choosing silence until certainty. Inside a classroom, a teacher fills the blackboard with complex formula. The board becomes crowded with symbols as students watch in silence. Continuing calculations, the teacher asks about the link between mathematics and magic. Holding a book, he explains physics and math as foundations of magical understanding. While students groan in unison, the teacher only smiles calmly. Another staff member knocks, informing him it is time to begin candidate testing. Student, the blown die, prepares himself, ready to fulfill his role. At the testing court, teenagers gather, chatting in loose groups. Youngwoo stands apart, his level 3 ID card marking him clearly. Nearby, a quiet girl with red braids stands alone, her card marked number 1. Suddenly, Park Tito appears, calling out directly to Youngwoo. Youngwoo studies the tiger calmly, noting future trouble reduced by sharing the magic course. With a mocking smile, Park Kivo feels superior seeing Youngwoo's low level. Deciding to exploit this, he orders Youngwoo to meet him at the exit. The braided girl immediately listens closely to their exchange. Youngwoo holds his stance, coolly asking why he should comply. shocked by the defiance. Q questions if Youngwoo understands the situation. The delinquents behind him freeze, stunned by the boy's nerve. The Black Tiger successor steps closer, issuing pressure and warning against trouble. Fearless. The braided girl intervenes, asking if that was a threat. All eyes turn to her, surprised by her calm presence. Arrogant as ever, Park Tito demands to know who she is. With perfect manners, she introduces herself as Chai Yoon-jan. Keeping her composure, she repeats her question about threatening another candidate. Wearing a mocking smile, Kubo tries to brush it off and dodge responsibility. The braided girl sees through it instantly and directly demands an apology. Even Youngwoo is caught off guard by her sudden firmness. One of Park Kivo's followers snaps back with crude insults. Unmoved, Cha Eun-jung forms a magic circle before her, asking if that is all they can say. When the thug mouths off again, she triggers her barrier and sends him flying aside. Youngwoo is no longer just surprised, he is completely stunned. The surrounding students fall silent, eyes locked on the display of power. The clan successor stays smug, smiling down at her and calling her arrogant. The girl does not retreat and repeats her demand for an apology. Losing patience, the Black Tiger orders her closer, still refusing to apologize. Youngwoo finally speaks, calmly warning him not to take another step. Park Teo turns sharply, questioning who the boy thinks he is. Youngwoo answers slowly, syllable by syllable, telling him again not to come closer. The gang leader's glare twists with hatred, refusing to accept being restrained. Youngwoo responds with a single cold look, far more oppressive. Park Kyo freezes, narrowing his eyes, unable to process the pressure. His body starts shaking uncontrollably, fear rising without explanation. His followers urge him forward from behind, but he snaps at them to shut up. The Black Tiger truly feels sick, though he cannot understand the cause. Youngwoo notices immediately and allows himself a quiet smile. Xiao Yunjung steps in again, urging the boy to simply apologize. Cold sweat pours down as anger and panic mix together. He stares at the girl, yet his thoughts fix only on the sudden pain. His focus breaks and he lunges toward the quiet girl in frustration. His lackeys rush after him, trying to back him up. The charge fails instantly as he crashes into an unseen barrier. Those watching hear another sound from him and recoil, covering their noses. Park Kyo trembles violently, collapsing as the pain overwhelms him. His followers panic, asking what is happening to their leader. He weakly orders them to stay back as his strength drains away. At last, he can no longer resist and completely gives in. Of all his past outbursts, this humiliation stands as the worst. Outside the gym, horrified candidates scream and scatter from the spreading stench. Luckily, the hallways are lined with wide windows. Soon, everyone rushes for fresh air while cleaners move in. Even the teacher shields his face, unable to endure the smell. Ajana apologizes, but the blonde man says he witnessed everything, asked why he did not interfere. Professor Richards laughs and calls it entertaining. With the exam disrupted, the janitor asks what comes next, and Richards calmly orders a written test. The janitor finally relaxes and casually asks if any candidates showed real promise. The blonde man's gaze locks onto Youngwoo and his quiet protector, saying he already found potential. The girl instantly notices the professor studying her posture and conduct. She bows politely, offering an apology for causing trouble earlier. Richard smiles lightly, praises her conduct, and declares that she has passed. The girl lights up with pure joy, promising to work harder than ever. Richard turns to Youngwoo next, sensing something unusual while the boy stays indifferent. That calm breaks when Youngwoo feels the professor's aura exceed the data on his file. Richard checks the card and comments that the boy appears untalented. The braided girl giggles softly, and though annoyed, Youngwoo stays silent. As Richard hesitates, a voice suddenly echoes inside his mind. Startled, Richard realizes the boy is communicating through telepathy. The shock is so strong he forgets about the lingering stench. He questions Youngwoo mentally, asking if he can learn magic and martial arts together. Youngwoo answers calmly, stating the paths are compatible, he just lacks magic practice. Their silent exchange continues as the crowd returns to the court. Youngwoo explains confidently that he intends to master both disciplines. Richard grows stern, warning the boy not to underestimate magic. They lock eyes, tension rising as his acceptance is weighed. Youngwoo insists telepathically that the evaluation must remain fair. At last, Richard speaks aloud, asking how the boy knows so much. Youngwoo answers with a proud smile, saying he taught himself. Outside the academy grounds, candidates begin heading home. Kang In-shun waits near the gate, watching for his friend. He greets Youngwoo warmly with an easy smile. The smile turns to laughter, but Youngwoo does not join in. Kang In-shun mentions hearing about the incident with the rival. Youngwoo explains calmly that it was caused by a mental technique. Shocked, his friend asks if Youngwoo caused the diarrhea. The dark prodigy confirms it plainly, admitting responsibility. Kang In-shun beams with pride and starts asking about the technique. Youngwoo cuts him off, warning him not to be obvious during testing. Confusion follows as Kang wonders if everything was planned. Youngwoo explains his judgment, saying chi absorption users deserve punishment. Kang-shan frowns, asking what chi absorption truly is. Youngwoo prepares to explain the technique in detail. He begins by recalling the greatest scumbag in martial arts history. In a dark, silent room, slow footsteps echo. The sound stops beside a bed, heavy and deliberate. Hidden in the darkness, a terrified presence pants within Singular. She trembles as the sound of footsteps creeps closer, each step tightening the air. The girl refuses to blink, gripping her only weapon with white knuckles. At last, a pair of legs enters her view, crossing into the room. The steps halt when the figure stops beside the bed. Close enough to feel, she clamps a hand over her mouth, forcing her breath into silence. He remains there in polished dress shoes, unmoving and patient. It feels like he is waiting, listening for the smallest mistake. After a tense pause, he turns and walks back the way he came. The door closes behind him, sealing the room in silence. She stays hidden longer, waiting for danger to truly pass. Slowly, carefully, she crawls out, every sense on edge. What she sees first freezes her in place with dread. Two men hang like ornaments on the wall and door, one in a singular uniform. Panic takes over and she runs, nearly falling as she moves. In the hallway, the sight worsens, bodies scattered in the same condition. Her mind screams that only a demon or nightmare could do this. A blade presses close as a voice asks why she left her hiding place. Reality crashes in and she cries, realizing the devil stands before her. It savors her fear and calmly says there's no salvation. Even as she screams, the young Singular weakens, life slowly draining away. Dawn nearly breaks over the silent hotel. Morning light washes over the buildings of Singular Academy. Students pass through as an announcement echoes, signaling the start of classes. In the courtyard, the familiar duo stands together. Kang-shan wears a puzzled look, sensing someone watching them. He means Cha-Yoon-joon, who looks back and realizes she has been noticed. That exchange sparks Youngwoo's interest as he looks her way. Flustered, the nerdy girl shrinks back in embarrassment. Her magic slips unintentionally, causing a small disturbance nearby. Sharp-eyed Kang-shan notices and asks what's going on since she was staring at his friend. Annoyed by the attention, she snaps for him to mind his own business. The moment passes and talk shifts back to chi absorption. An awkward pause follows when Kang-shan realizes Jungwoo was never bothered, noticing something off. Nearby, Park Kyo arrives at the academy grounds. His usual arrogance is gone, replaced by a defeated, worn appearance. Even so, Kang-shan is surprised to see him return after such humiliation. Youngwoo instead walks straight toward the Black Tiger, intent clear. With a calm smile, he says he still needs to clear something up. Hearing his name, the delinquent turns around sharply. Already hostile, he snaps and asks what his rival wants. Shaking and unbalanced, he accuses Youngwoo of approaching only to ridicule him. Calm as ever, Youngwoo reaches out and locks onto the boy's wrist. In one smooth motion, he drops him with a strike no one expects. Park Kyo barely recovers before hitting the ground, twisting at the last second. Enraged, he demands answers. Unaware Youngwoo can fight. Youngwoo explains he hides strength to avoid exposing himself to enemies. The Black Tiger successor understands the logic, yet burns with anger after being called foolish. That fury pushes him forward as he charges without restraint. His blow cuts air, missing its mark by a wide margin. Every follow-up strike fails just as badly. The disturbance draws attention as nearby students begin to gather. Park Hyo snarls that Youngwoo dodges like a rat, but the insult has no effect. Instead, it signals the counter. Youngwoo steps in and lands a clean right cross. The impact warps Park Hyo's face, leaving him stunned. The force sends him flying back into the wall. Blood spills as he collapses, yet Youngwoo is already standing over him. Park Hyo tries to insult him again, but cannot even rise. A brutal kick catches him, twisting his body sideways. He slams into the wall once more, nearly losing consciousness. He slides down helplessly, while Youngwoo watches to see if he can continue. When he fails to move, Youngwoo steps down on him without hesitation. Despite the fury, Park Hyo shows no resistance as he is lifted by the head. With cold eyes and an amused smile, Youngwoo asks if he wants more, voice steady. Broken and shaken, Park Hyo can only mutter threats of revenge. That answer earns nothing. Youngwoo drives his head into the ground again. He lifts him once more, studying the crushed expression closely, wearing a chilling smile. Youngwoo asks again if Park Hyo wants more. The only reply is wide eyes filled with disbelief. The battered successor feels like a helpless toy in Youngwoo's grip. Youngwoo presses him harder, demanding an answer, continue or end it. Suddenly, a red cloud of smoke blooms around Park Hyo. He reacts at last, releasing toxic smoke and launching forward. Youngwoo raises his arms to block, stepping back from the surge. The watching students erupt, sensing the fight might turn. Poison seeps in, and Youngwoo feels its effect spreading through him. A girl in the crowd protests angrily, calling poison use unfair. In that moment, the Black Tiger successor regains focus. He wastes no time, believing the tide has shifted. He rushes Youngwoo head-on, ready to strike back. The confidence lasts only an instant before realization hits. Youngwoo gathers his power and releases it, forcing a violent smoke burst from his body. Once again, Park Hyo is completely caught off guard by the sudden turn. Spectators shield their noses and mouths, realizing the dark cloud carries poison. The mist rolls outward, swallowing the entire area in seconds. The furious boy realizes too late his attack only strengthened his opponent, and now he is lost inside the fog. Youngwoo's voice cuts through the mist, shockingly close, freezing Park Hyo in place. He stumbles through the haze, shouting and calling his opponent a coward. Regret hits instantly when Youngwoo's hand clamps onto his head again. His face is driven straight into the ground with brutal force. Youngwoo questions him about chi absorption, his tone turning sharp and serious. Lying helplessly, the Black Tiger has no idea what Youngwoo is talking about. He barely speaks before another blow hits, knocking his words aside. The strike launches him again while Youngwoo barely shifts his stance. Even enjoying the fight, Youngwoo remains unconvinced. He rushes forward at full speed without hesitation. Precise strikes rain down in rapid succession. Unable to block or evade, Park Hyo finally loses consciousness. Youngwoo lands more blows until a commanding voice calls out to stop. He reacts just in time and halts mid-motion. Seconds later, an explosion tears through the space they occupied. The blast forces Youngwoo back from his fallen opponent. He stiffens, recognizing the technique, and turns toward its source. A red-haired youth steps forward, posture perfect, expression empty. Youngwoo immediately recognizes that aura from a past life and stares back. He studies the blank face coldly, suspecting another reincarnated being. For a brief moment, Youngwoo lowers his guard, sensing real danger. With Park Hyo unconscious, the redhead introduces himself as Tempstu from the student council. He positions himself protectively, stating Youngwoo has gone too far. Youngwoo responds calmly, saying poison forced him to retaliate. He adds that poison residue still lingers in his body. The redhead checks him carefully and confirms the claim. His gaze shifts to Park Hyo, knowing well the boy uses poison. Watching students grow restless, waiting for a clear resolution, Sir John M. Liu steps past Tempstu, moving toward Park Hyo without pause. Kyungsoo asks Youngwoo to remove his foot so they can talk, but is ignored. Laughing, Youngwoo claims he fears being poisoned again. The redhead argues the boy is unconscious, but logic fails to sway him. Kim-soo senses the cruelty in Youngwoo and understands why poison was used. He warns Youngwoo again, this time with a clear threat. That threat only excites Youngwoo further, his grin widening. The air around him shifts, and the redhead instantly senses danger. He switches tactics again, choosing restraint and urging the boy to stop. Youngwoo finally removes his foot from the fallen black tiger. Only then does Kyung-soo ask his name as curiosity spreads through the crowd. Youngwoo introduces himself with a smirk, stating he is a freshman from the magic department. He walks away confidently as the onlookers instinctively clear a path. Kyung-soo watches closely, thinking how unlike him this boy is compared to his own leader. A faint concern crosses his face. Sensing this, one could bring chaos someday. Inside, beat Hadami. The corridors have grown quiet again. Youngwoo moves on, angered that the black tiger used chi absorption without understanding it. That realization finally gives him the answer he was searching for. Elsewhere, at the horror hotel from before, Park Young-chien, leader of the Black Tiger clan, stands in shock. He demands an explanation as his eyes scan the lifeless bodies, sweating. A subordinate explains the culprit drained the life force of everyone present. The leader responds brutally, leaving punishment marks for such failure. Even the singular girl was not spared. Only her empty shell remains as he orders a hunt. The target, however, is already claiming new victims. In a dark corridor elsewhere, he grips a man as if weightless. His expression confirms this is the blood scholar reincarnated. Back at Singular Academy, daily student life resumes. Students sit quietly in class, waiting for the instructor. Youngwoo is among them, staring at a pile of gifts he does not understand. Two girls nearby gush over the hero who humbled the crybaby. Before they continue, another girl passes by their seats. Her blonde hair and familiar charm draw attention immediately. She ignores their stares and walks straight ahead, taking a seat beside her childhood friend, showing clear closeness. The other girls bristle and whisper about her monopolizing the prodigy. Unbothered, she smiles and tells him to ignore the gossip. Feeling slighted, one girl vows to expose the celebrity online. Yutahara stands to respond, but the girls leave before she can. She sits back down and hears Youngwoo oddly agreeing with them. Anger flashes until he quickly explains himself. The conversation shifts to magic as Youngwoo asks about her interest. She says it is entertainment. Staying current matters in her career. When Youngwoo questions her choice despite her wealth, she grabs his arm, uncomfortable. He asks her to let go, but she holds firm. She looks at him quietly, memories resurfacing. Remembering the day Youngwoo saved her from danger, her gaze stays locked on him as she continues holding his arm. Youngwoo grows tense and asks what that intense look directed at him means. Blushing, she speaks plainly, admitting she has no plan to stop at kisses with her hero. Before she can continue, a heavy stack of books slams onto the desk, cutting her short. Shaggy Young arrives and takes the seat on Youngwoo's other side. The blonde fumes as Youngwoo ignores her and calmly asks the nerd about homework. The girl answers proudly, smiling as she confirms she finished everything. Flushed with irritation, the blonde uses telepathy to ask Youngwoo who that girl is. He answers casually, explaining they met during the test, making Yuhara lean closer after hearing he remembered her name. Her irritation deepens instead of fading. The two girls glare sharply at each other across Youngwoo. Tension crackles between them in a silent clash of pride. Youngwoo's device rings, breaking the moment and pulling both girls' focus. He checks the message and sees it is from his younger sister. She asks to see a movie together, but Youngwoo replies he has class and must reschedule. At the cinema entrance, his sister Su Lien stands with her friend, excitedly asking about him. Her mood drops when she hears he will not come. Even as Su Lien suggests going alone, the friend protests, but Su Lien walks ahead decisively, forcing her to follow. The movie runs long, and night has fallen by the time it ends. Su Lien hurries home, already dreading a lecture for being out late. She slows on a quiet street, sensing something off and sharpening her focus. The girl scans the dark road but finds no one in sight. She knows she heard something, yet whoever watches her stays hidden. Suddenly, another disturbance erupts. startling even the unseen observer. Sulien turns again, now fully alert. This time, she freezes at what approaches from ahead. Hostile figures close in, surrounding her from all sides. She screams instinctively, fear breaking loose. A burst of smoke marks the first strike. To their surprise, Sulien responds fast, raising a magic barrier to defend herself. The masked attackers recoil, realizing she is no ordinary child. Calm but firm, she warns them police will arrive soon. One masked man counters, saying cameras were handled and no one will see them. Another orders the group not to hold back despite her age. She must be captured. As Youngwoo's sister, Sulien strikes first as they advance. The one wearing an Iron Man mask nearly grabs her, but she escapes with a leap. Though holding her ground, she complains it is unfair while retreating. The Captain America masked man appears behind her during the distraction. Smiling coldly, he blocks her escape this time. Elsewhere, hurried footsteps echo through a long corridor. Youngwoo bursts into the emergency room, eyes sharp and resolve unbroken. Panicked over his sister, Youngwoo runs through the ward, calling her name again and again. He finds Sulien at last. She rushes into his arms, shaking and asking why he came so late. He kneels to her level, avoiding excuses, focused only on what happened. Flustered, she points toward the criminals on stretchers, explaining they tried to take her. Each attacker lies bandaged and injured, groaning softly in pain. Youngwoo asks who left them like this, voice steady but sharp. Sulien pauses, then starts recalling every moment clearly. She explains she was nearly captured by the one wearing the Captain America mask. She tried to twist away and escape as fast as she could. He was already too close, and she screamed in fear. Suddenly, someone struck him mid-air and sent him flying away. Like her, the other kidnappers never saw where the attack came from. While she struggled to understand, she heard someone speak nearby. That was when she saw several men in suits approaching with serious faces. One of them started to apologize, speaking with restraint. She did not recognize him and thought he confused her for someone else. The masked criminals remained standing, growing hostile again. Their mistake was ignoring that the suited men fought for survival. Confused and careless, the kidnappers stayed put, wondering how they were found. Then it was too late, as the leader ordered all of them taken down. The group moved instantly, overwhelming the masked attackers. With numbers and resolve, the fight ended quickly. Sulien watched from a distance beside the leader, stunned. A faint sign of pain caught his eye and he rushed to her, frightening her further. He noticed her injured arm, and she said one blow had struck her there. Though she tried calming him, anger overtook his expression. He could only question why this had been allowed to happen. Rising in fury, he shocked the girl with his reaction. He shouted a new order, declaring a level 1 alert to eliminate everyone involved. As she tells Youngwoo how terrified she felt, he listens without interrupting. She adds that the masked men on the stretchers must regret it now. She believes they still will after leaving the hospital. Outside, Hajime waits in the parking lot, posture rigid and unmoving. Soon, a group of men approaches him in silence. The men in black suits stop before him. Their faces show fear mixed with despair. They bow deeply as their leader reports the girl was taken home safely. Youngwoo fixes them with his usual intimidating stare. His squad, Udino, former mafiosos long discarded, trembles under that gaze. One man steps forward, offering his life to atone for allowing the girl to be endangered. John Woosh turns away without hesitation, dismisses them coldly, says the punishment will wait. They bow once more, accepting the order without protest. Before the boy even steps outside, they are already gone. That disappearance pulls Youngwoo's attention back to the parking lot. He senses something off, slows down, studies the surrounding buildings. He dismisses the feeling and keeps walking toward the exit. The parking lot falls silent, empty, like nothing ever occurred. Almost empty, since someone still hides behind a concrete pillar. A chilling silhouette lingers, wearing that familiar medical smile in the shadows. The next day begins normally, as a woman and several children admire the Black Tiger clan gate. Inside, clan apprentices train relentlessly in martial arts. The children buzz with excitement during the visit, The teacher explains again that this is one of South Korea's 8 great clans. One child asks if that means it is the strongest place in the country. The teacher hesitates, avoids sides, says all clans serve the nation equally. A sudden voice interrupts, claiming that any ranking would put them at the top. It is Park Jumshi himself, leader of the Black Tiger clan, arriving with a bodyguard. The teacher feels honored by the clan master, who stays outwardly humble. Smiling calmly, he says he came because these children are the nation's future. In seconds, the crowd surrounds him, praising him, asking eagerly for photos. Nearby, Park Shum-hoo watches the scene with a very different reaction. The association group leader observes everything with open disdain. That disdain hardens into anger over secrets he knows are being concealed. The strange young man keeps watching, now joined by a colleague urging more backup. He refuses, saying exposure would be reckless and could spark clan war. The woman reminds him of one investigation still unresolved. During a meeting, 300 people vanished without explanation. Last year, passengers from 3 tour buses disappeared inside a tunnel. A hotel incident followed, every guest gone without a trace. He says all cases were labeled demon damage, but she links them to the Black Tiger clan. The leader agrees the clan is not innocent, fueling her outrage further. He calms her, asks for patience, knowing they are already under investigation. He reveals the clan uncovered something ancient in a tomb last year. Until they learn what lies there, action remains impossible. As the children leave, the two continue watching from afar, alert and wary. The clan leader offers his farewells with a warm, gentle smile. The smile fades quickly, replaced by a bitter expression. He confirms to Park Kivo that he has returned. The bodyguard answers yes. The massive clan base stands eerily empty. In one room, Park Kido lies bandaged on a bed, recovering from a brutal beating. The clan leader storms in immediately, cold and ruthless, tearing into the miserable state his son lies in. The boy flinches at his father's sudden presence, fear cutting through him instantly. He drops to his knees without delay, begging forgiveness, swearing never to disgrace the clan again. The old man responds flatly, telling him to finish what he starts next time, no matter the cost. Park Tito shakes under the weight of his father's crushing, unforgiving stare. Claire Mater continues, face twisted with disgust, declaring his son unfit to ever inherit his role. The boy can only bow his head lower, repeating apologies he knows change nothing. Memories flood back of beatings delivered whenever he failed to meet expectations. He recalls the hatred in his father's eyes, scorn mixed with punishment for every mistake. On the cold floor, buried in memories, he shields himself, knowing deep down his father demanded strength. He vows to reclaim his dignity, driven by humiliation, resolved to grow far more powerful. Dark clouds blanket the sky as rain pours down and trees sway violently. Workers in raincoats haul a massive box from a pit while Park Young Chiem oversees. Ignoring the storm, the tiger leader barks orders, demanding absolute care with the cargo. One trembling worker injures his hand, drops the box, and draws instant fury from the boss. The leader explodes in disgust as the man stammers apologies and excuses. Another worker snaps at him while sealing the box, everyone aware of the leader's temper. Through the cracked opening, the weight is explained, a human body packed inside. Back home, Park Keela senses something deeply wrong and turns sharply. A shriveled, dried man dangles from a hand, twisted, like lifeless fruit. Still wrapped in bandages, the mummy from the coffin now recovers, draining life nearby. The boy stays calm, asking if the creature had attempted escape. The man does not react, and the young master calmly proposes a deal. Park Hyo agrees firmly, offering help under one strict condition. He demands the technique used to erase anyone who stands in the way. A hard stare shows this request was never expected. Then a crooked grin appears, promising enjoyment, and the man accepts. Back in the present, Park Tito studies his injuries and the price of his choices. A staff member cuts in, stating training must resume without delay. Tito agrees, asks about the tatami, learns they have been unreachable for hours. Frustrated, he presses about all communication routes. The worker promises future action. Inherited rage surfaces, and Tito lashes out verbally at the helpless staffer. A sudden thought sparks as Tito stares at the trembling servant. He demands the man's hand, leaving the servant stunned and confused. Before understanding, Parkkeel grips his arm, assuring it will be quick. A short scream erupts, then dies, as a massive surge of energy bursts out. Parkkeel releases him, and the body collapses, completely dried and empty. The young tiger finally understands the truth. His bandages now useless. New energy floods him, sealing wounds and reinforcing his body with strength. With clarity, he sees the path to vengeance against his enemy, a jumbo. Blitz Sudma stiffens as a sudden noise and violent tremor ripple from somewhere nearby. He spins in place, eyes sharp, scanning the area for the source. In the city, two operatives quietly confirm the clan's communication lines are completely severed. After confirmation, Black Squad members escort civilians away, announcing a rift attack drill. The crowd groans at another drill, while warnings promise screams and chaos, yet total safety. Elsewhere, Jongwoo pulls together the last active members of his unit. Vice Leader Yang Onek leans in to whisper, prompting his superior to ask what is wrong. Yang admits fear has locked his body. He has never seen the boss this enraged. Standing before them, Hu Jongwoo smiles cruelly, declaring tonight ends the Black Tiger clan. At that moment, the Black Tiger clan base comes under full assault. An armed force surges forward, vaulting rooftops with lethal precision. Their leader rushes ahead, intent on crushing the attackers without mercy. A sudden strike slams into the fighters behind him without warning. Instantly alert, he recognizes an ambush and orders an immediate retreat. Too late. Several subordinates are already struck down and collapse rapidly. Moving with silent precision, he drops into cover, eyes searching for threats. Pressed against a wall, he scans the shadows, hunting the unseen enemy. A voice suddenly speaks from behind, breaking his focus completely. Jongwoo stands beside him, calmly warning against overconfidence despite standing alone. Seizing the moment, the ninja leader attacks at once with his Gakana. Jongwoo flares with power and counters, his kick blocked at the last moment. The impact still sends shock through the ninja, locking his body in place. The enemy leader is hurled backward, crashing into splintering wooden boards. He lands hard, forced into a guarded position on the ground. Shaken by the strength, lingering tremors fade as something worse steals his focus. He looks across the field and sees his entire team scattered and defeated. Still stunned, he watches Jongwoo step closer with measured calm. Realization hits, the prodigy sinister ore has returned, and fear takes hold. Jongwoo smiles darkly, assuring him this fate will soon claim the entire clan. A mocking interruption cuts in, shattering the boy's oppressive presence. A masked unit arrives, their leader scoffing. Confident Jongwoo speaks empty threats. Even the ninja leader freezes as the Crimson Guard reveals itself fully. Florence steps forward, cool and dominant, questioning Jongwoo's understanding of danger. Jongwoo remains relaxed, exposing the site as a human trafficking operation. From outside, the Black Tiger clan territory still appears quiet and untouched. Leaning against the outer wall, a lone leader probes the communication failure. Sue and a partner approach, revealing the clan is likely under attack. Shock spreads across the boy's face. No one sane challenges the strongest clan. He prepares to report to the association, but his partner does not move. She lowers her head slowly, hesitation clear, driven by another plan. She exposes her intent by rushing toward the site, driven by hope of finding her sister, leaving her leader stunned. He finally reacts, shouting for her to stop and come back. An invisible electric barrier answers first, shocking her the moment she tries to cross. The force throws her back to where she jumped from, and her leader rushes to her side. He pulls her up quickly, demanding to know why a barrier exists here. Inside the base, Crimson Guard warriors are hurled around relentlessly while fighting Jongwoo. Jongwoo stands unmoved at the center, calm as enemies surround him from every side. Frustration boils over, and the guards prepare a desperate counterattack. Jongwoo watches with amusement, likening them to moths rushing toward a fatal light. In an instant, a blade of light forms in his hand. Fear spreads as they recognize the weapon and its overwhelming power. One tries to warn the others to flee, but the attack is already unleashed. The strike tears through the group in a single sweeping motion. None of them react fast enough to defend. When the motion ends, a spiraling mark remains where every enemy was erased. One survivor realizes only the spectral blade could do this, questioning how Young-woo wields it. Others struggle up, demanding why they are being attacked when they claim no wrongdoing. Young-woo finds their confusion amusing and asks if they truly want the reason. The masked warriors shout that they do, since death is already closing in. Young-woo agrees to explain, his presence sharpening the air around him. Every guard fixes their attention on him, bracing for the answer. He states coldly that this began when they attempted to kidnap his sister. Confusion spreads across the warriors at his words. Their leader defends them, claiming they only punish those who deserve it. That defense earns a sharp, icy glare from Young-woo. With cold arrogance, he questions whether armed men like them deserve human rights. Silence falls, until a voice agrees with him from behind. Park Tito steps forward, fully healed, stunning allies and enemies alike. A guard warns him to stay back, but Park Tito ignores him. Gripping the man's arm, Park Tito questions him calmly, making him tremble. To prove his control, he activates chi absorption again, draining his ally completely. Another guard gasps, asking what power this is, while Park Tito focuses only on strength. A smile forms as his hunger for power grows with every pulse absorbed. Soon, multiple Crimson warriors lie collapsed, shriveled and lifeless. Park Tito does not stop, reaching for the next victim without pause. As energy is stolen, the man begs silently, but Park Tito shows no restraint. The team leader watches his subordinate fall and tries to call out. Realizing words are useless, shock freezes him in place. With no choice left, he turns and attacks his own superior. The blow lands, but Park Tito barely reacts, pushed back without injury. Seeing the young man hesitate, the team leader speaks up, trying to reason, demanding to know what he is doing. Jumlu remains nearby, watching closely as the Tiger Clan successor mirrors the man's stance. Wearing a confident smile, he says he is only making sure the Crimson Guard serves its true purpose. Shock flashes across the masked leader's face as he struggles to grasp what that purpose truly means. His thoughts drift back to the day he joined, when he swore an oath to defend the clan. He remembers how every member pledged their lives solely for the clan's protection. Back then, the mansion looked much the same as it does now, but Thakvan, the young master, was once a terrified child hiding in the dojo corner. Approaching gently, he asked the boy if everything was all right. It was clear little Kino was not, his body marked with bruises and pain, trying to comfort him. Haydn explained the harsh training was meant to make him stronger. The boy doubted it, saying daily effort was never enough to meet expectations. The young warrior fell silent, troubled and unsure how to respond. Changing tactics, he offered to personally teach him in the next session. At last, the boy lifted his head and met his gaze. With a warm smile, he promised to help little Kiho become a strong leader, unused to kindness. The boy suddenly wrapped him in a tight embrace. Through tears, he declared he would become that strong leader. Crying, little Kiho clung to him, promising to grow stronger and asking for guidance. The memory feels fresh, as if that hug happened only moments ago. Now, facing him again. Fear shakes him at what the boy has become, lifted by the throat. The Crimson Guard leader still accepts his duty, even in terror. He offers his life once more, believing it noble to protect the clan. Park Tito coldly rejects that idea, saying the guard exists only to serve the clan's will. Seeing the man as a mere tool, he begins draining his life force without pause. The once powerful leader quickly withers, his strength fading into nothing. Even then, he warns his master that the enemy they face is truly dangerous. Park Tito finishes the absorption, leaving behind only a dry shell. He drops the remains without care, admitting he needed that strength. His focus shifts back to his waiting opponent, wondering if thanks are deserved. Jumlu answers calmly, grateful as well, then asks again how Park Tito learned that power. Park Tito responds with a brutal strike to the gut, offering no explanations. Young-woo watches closely, surprised by how much stronger his opponent has become. A rapid chain of attacks follows, but Jungwoo blocks every single blow. At last, one punch slips through as Park Tito declares, "Today is his lesson day." Throughout the Black Tiger base, cries and chaos echo without pause. The Black Squad leader and his vice leader battle fiercely against a full ninja unit. Holding the line, the captain asks how long they must endure this fight. The vice leader answers fast, saying they must stall until Jumlu destroys the clan. Remaining calm, Device urges him on, saying they only need to hold a little longer. As the exchange ends, he drives another heavy blow straight into an enemy. The impact sends the body flying until a wall finally halts the momentum. Silence follows as all opponents lie fallen, and the group assumes the fight is finished. Before any next move forms, a furious scream tears through the area. In a flash, one of them is struck at extreme speed before they can react. The Tiger Clan leader's bodyguard storms through, smashing Can into the wall like debris. The vice leader barely turns before a precise strike catches him as well. He slams into another wall, cracks spreading outward from the impact. Dazed, he lifts his head, searching for the source of such overwhelming force. His vision is crushed by a foot pressing his head into the stone, leaving a deep imprint. The Black Tiger Clan leader steps forward, pinning them down and demanding their identities. Rage consumes him, angered by invaders he cannot identify or trace. The bodyguard reports they are investigating, but the barrier blocks clear detection. Losing patience, the old tiger chooses a more direct method for answers. To everyone's shock, the squad vice leader speaks immediately, naming Diamond Gate of the Golden River clan. The claim leaves the old man openly doubtful. The bodyguard dismisses it as deception. No one would confess so easily. The man in black responds calmly, saying confession is easy when death is certain. That certainty fuels the clan leader's fury, killing intent burning openly. Before he can act, a violent crash erupts from the wall behind him. A body bursts through and collapses at his feet. Horror spreads as the Black Squad recognizes Jungwoo, wounded and unconscious. Their faces twist in despair. Victory lost in a single moment. Rarely seen so helpless, Jungwoo lies buried in debris, motionless and cold. The clan leader freezes, struggling to understand how the boy arrived here. The answer follows as Park Tito steps through the breach, radiating vengeance. Even his father falters, calling his name to confirm the sight. Shock grips him as he recognizes the energy now pouring from his son. Park Tito admires his transformed body, clearly pleased with the result. He boasts that he claimed the monster's power his father sought to control. The old man snaps back in fury, shouting that his son was meant to use the monster, not become one. Overflowing with arrogance, the boy calmly tells his father to go to hell. To prove his resolve, he seizes the bodyguard by the jacket. In moments, the guard is reduced to nothing but drained energy before the clan leader's eyes. The surge intoxicates the boy, who remarks that the energy tastes better than expected. His enjoyment only deepens his father's rage as Park Tito keeps smiling. The clan leader explodes, declaring his son became a monster the moment he learned that power. Unfazed, the boy reminds him he was always called weak and questioned as a true son. He asks calmly, which is worse, a weak son or a strong one branded a monster? The old man falls silent, unable to deny the truth in those words. Advancing with open arrogance, Tito tells his father to retire, declaring himself the new leader. The Tiger Clan leader scowls instantly, calling his son reckless and arrogant. The successor grins thinly, proposing a fair fight, saying the strongest deserves everything. The old man trembles, caught between rage, resentment, and something close to fear. A third voice cuts in sharply, ordering them both to stop before crossing a line. Jungwoo, awake and seated, watches the scene like a stage play, joking they should fight already. Park Tito stares in disbelief, shaken by Jungwoo's refusal to stay down. The fire prodigy mocks him, noting his subordinates have not even been eliminated yet. The young tiger scoffs, refusing to believe such a claim. The Black Squad lies scattered and unconscious until Jungwoo calmly tells them to stand. To both father and son's shock, those thought defeated rise as if untouched. Jungwoo orders them to leave and reinforce the outer barriers. In a blur of speed, the two vanish instantly to execute the command. With no more interruptions, Young-woo finally begins to speak calmly. Before he can finish, the Tiger Clan leader charges straight at him. A lightning-fast strike sends Young-woo flying, smashing through another wall. While airborne, he summons a spectral sword, preparing for a controlled landing. He does not expect his enemy to already be waiting behind him. The old man lashes out, blaming him for his son's fall, his form a blur. The Black Tiger's strike crashes down, slamming Young-woo into the ground. Young-woo barely cushions the impact, shock rippling through his body. He struggles to process it, certain his enemy was just ahead of him. Another killing presence erupts from behind, moving at terrifying speed. The follow-up strike lands cleanly, leaving him no room to evade. The assault continues as the old man unleashes a relentless barrage. Young-woo narrowly avoids the rest, realizing his foe warps space with enchantment. Park Young-shim remains unfazed, Rithcore eyes burning with resolve. He watches Young-woo like prey marked for the kill. The Black Tiger's explosion erupts toward him while he is still mid-air. But Young-woo responds calmly, revealing he has answers of his own. He counters the blast, admitting the technique is impressive but still inferior, slamming his spectral sword into the ground. Energy surges outward, cracking the earth toward his opponent. Park Jin leaps back, startled, trying to escape the rupture. Shock spreads as he realizes the boy can wield such a weapon. His eyes lock onto a movement that sends unease through him. The blade spins freely, releasing a precise whirlwind slash. The destruction dwarfs shattered walls, tearing through the battlefield. The old tiger is forced to defend with his own magical sword. In disbelief, he wonders how much power such a young fighter truly holds. He lands hard on a rooftop that somehow holds, pushing off fast to regain momentum. Another explosion detonates directly on his position, forcing an instant evasive move, at the heart of the destruction. Young-woo stands firm with his blade, blocking any approach. The young man knows the old tiger still holds back. This fight is not at full force. The pace shifts when arms suddenly lock around his neck. The hold is perfect. The clan leader screams his son's name, sensing disaster closing in. Park Tito feels absolute control, ready to activate his trump card and drain everything. Dense energy spirals violently as the successor begins pulling life force away. Young-woo's veins strain as power is ripped from him, danger closing fast. Park Tito grows more confident, indulging in the chi flooding into him. For a moment, escape seems completely impossible for the prodigy. In the brink of collapse, Young-woo recalls something crucial. The choice hurts more than the assault itself. While Park Tito wonders at his power, that curiosity slows him, just enough to sense something wrong. Realization hits Park Tito too late. The flow reverses without mercy. His father rushes forward instinctively, as if he could stop destiny. Young-woo warns calmly that it is already over. A devilish smile spreads. The suffering fades from his face. Within seconds, the young successor withers, dry like the bodies before him. The father stands frozen, unable to accept the sight of his fallen son. Young-woo explains that after many reincarnations, mastering this technique was inevitable. He offers a final farewell as his rival drops like a dead leaf. Park Young-shim trembles, hatred and grief twisting inside him. He charges again toward his enemy, desperate to kill if he cannot save. Young-woo stands ready, mocking calmly about seeing the dead return. A massive explosion erupts, visible from far beyond the battlefield. The old tiger is struck hard, blood spilling as damage overwhelms him. Even wounded, he halts and demands answers from the monster before him. He asks why his entire clan had to be erased this way. The answer never comes. Young-woo's spectral blade pierces through him. Young-woo exhales, satisfied at last, still annoyed by endless words. He ends it completely, holding the man accountable for every act. Spinning his sword, he clears the remnants of the clash. He scans the area and sees no one left standing. Only then does he reflect, realizing he should have learned more earlier. Looking at the fallen leader, he notices the rift core exposed. Understanding dawns. Only that energy explains the tiger's feats, a missed truth. He wonders if other clan leaders wield similar hidden power. A sudden signal pulls his focus away from reflection. Without hesitation, he leaps toward the source at full speed. Another young man hides nearby, watching the entire scene unfold like an unseen spectator. He attempts to flee while launching hurried attacks toward Youngwoo. Those reckless strikes only expose him, letting the prodigy identify him instantly and counter cleanly. Youngwoo's stance remains flawless, balanced, controlled, and unshaken. The boy freezes when he realizes a Youngwoo blade is embedded inches from his face. Pressured for answers, the intruder claims Youngwoo should already know who he is. Youngwoo denies it calmly, noting the boy is not using Black Tiger techniques but Pang style. Cornered, the boy panics and admits he is the third heir of Habapeng, present only as a guest. Threats follow, but they fail. Youngwoo steps closer, his smile growing sharper. He remarks that the Habapeng family never survives long enough to rise in history. An idea strikes. Youngwoo steps back, saying the boy can serve as the perfect scapegoat. The boy protests strongly, insisting he came strictly on a peace mission, left with no patience. Youngwoo uses his chilling smile to seize control, valuing his life. The terrified boy quickly agrees to everything. As he pleads, Youngwoo flicks a pill straight into his mouth. He orders him to swallow and obey from now on if he wants to survive. Shaken and unsure, the boy asks what he will be forced to do. Youngwoo answers casually that he is now a puppet. The young man calls out for his squad leader to train the new recruit. A sudden strike snaps the boy's neck aside, dropping him instantly. Kang Tasen appears, obeying orders, dragging the recruit away for training. Turning to the others, Youngwoo orders them to stage chaos and leave false traces. Smoke from earlier clashes still drifts through the ruined area. The bodies of the clan leader and his successor remain where they fell. Beside the leader's corpse rests the exposed rift core. It does not remain untouched for long. The revived monster, once controlled by the leader, claims the power for itself. It begins absorbing the rift core directly, without restraint. The energy overwhelms even the creature as it forces the absorption. Bent over, it screams in agony but refuses to release the power. Moments later, the process ends, its body still shaking violently. It rises slowly, laughing with deep satisfaction. Wearing a demonic grin, it knows its power is complete. The blood spirit realized. Elsewhere in the city, the night remains calm and ordinary. A couple sleeps peacefully, unaware of what has happened. Their son slips inside the house, careful not to make a sound. Youngwoo closes the door slowly, avoiding even the slightest noise. He thinks it was easier to erase a clan than enter quietly. To his surprise, Sudian is waiting in his room, watching him closely. Youngwoo asks why she is awake, and she answers that she was waiting for him. While stripping off his filthy clothes, the boy thanks his sister for worrying, says it is late and they will talk later. Sudian sees through him instantly and presses harder, demanding to know where he went. He never plans to tell the truth, yet he finds the situation oddly entertaining. Playing along, he teases her, asking if this is concern or outright panic. She bristles and insists she is only worried, just like their mother always is. Youngwoo pulls out 2 bills as leverage, making her freeze mid-sentence. Feeling insulted, she snaps back, reminding him she was nearly kidnapped. Worry is obvious. He raises the money again, prompting her to accuse him of doubting her values and threatening Mom. He ups the offer to 500,000 won, leaving his sister completely stunned. Her eyes lock onto the money as she silently reconsiders everything. Youngwoo waves the bills, urging her to take them and enjoy movies without restraint. As expected, the money vanishes from his hand in a blink. She swears she will stop asking questions, claiming it is only to keep him safe. In the end, she thanks him casually while he keeps his smug act. When he suggests hiring her a bodyguard, she reacts in pure shock. Memories of masked attackers surface as she processes his suggestion. She decides self-defense is better, especially since she is training his technique. Without waiting for excuses, she launches straight into a demonstration. A sudden strike surprises Youngwoo, forcing him to block immediately. He holds firm, defending cleanly and snatching the bills she used mid-attack. Then something unexpected catches him off guard. A rapid chain of strikes follows, pushing him to defend at once. Using money as bait, she attacks relentlessly, letting Jungwoo reclaim over half the bills. She still looks ready to continue with what remains, beneath his calm stance. Jungwoo feels proud, realizing she can protect herself, returning the money and urging practice. Frustrated by his lack of praise, she storms out, grabs her cash, and slams the door loudly. Left alone, Jungwoo wonders how handling his sister is harder than erasing a clan. At last, he collapses onto the bed, seeking a moment of rest. His thoughts keep moving, noting one less threat now that the black tigers are gone. As sleep creeps in, harsh memories surface without warning. He jolts upright, trying to shake the pain from his mind. Pressing his head, he hopes to silence the thoughts. Still, a scene from a past life resurfaces clearly. A girl once introduced herself and offered him food, in case he was hungry. Calmly, he asked if the roast was poisoned. She proved it safe by eating first, praising his caution. His logic was sound. The training field allowed only 3 survivors. Unexpectedly, she proposed he become her subordinate. The offer stunned him, leaving him confused and irritated. Smiling serenely, she said she would unite the Mirim and needed a right hand, offering marriage as another option. He mocked the girl, asking if she wanted to rule beside him as his queen. Conquering Mirim was his aim long before her dream, but fate never planned them together. Time passed, and eventually their path crossed with Muno in an unavoidable encounter. The Blood Scholar threatened the boy, seizing his partner as leverage to force surrender. Jungwoo stood frozen then, trapped in a choice with no clean escape. He watched his beloved companion get hurt by one of his most hated enemies. Jungwoo reels as those memories surface again, heavy and unsettling. He concludes Kivo's Chinite absorption is directly tied to Muno. The night advance at Black Tiger Clam Gate falls under close surveillance. Bodies lie scattered along the perimeter, now carefully inspected. A blond young man with a familiar aura studies the scene in silence. The singular squad leader arrives, saying the investigation is underway and a clan will be exposed. The blond man states firmly that only one person is responsible. His words shock the young singular officer. With a sharp stare, the young man repeats that a single culprit caused everything. He adds that a demon still moves while others rest, stirring the forest. The Black Squad executes its mission under Junglu's direct orders. The vice leader commands them to comb every inch of the perimeter. Leader Kasane grumbles about dragging a new recruit through live training. His teammate erupts, stunned by the complaint. Orders were clear. The captain steadies himself, blaming fatigue and overwork. The vice leader stays locked on the forest, searching for a unique presence. A sudden tremor snaps the squad to attention. They scan the area, unsure where the disturbance began near the city. A siren blares, signaling a looming disaster. An urgent broadcast orders civilians to evacuate. A Level 3 rift has opened. Panic spreads as crowds flee in raw desperation. Even the Black Squad leader feels shaken by the Wraith's power. His partner holds firm, reminding them that orders mean survival. They push harder, racing deeper into the forest, hunting the strongest presence. The second-in-command warns them not to engage, only observe and retreat. As they advance, a massive blaze comes into view. Flames devour the trees ahead, blocking any further approach. From their position, the cause becomes visible. A towering demon of rock and lava stands, terrifying beyond reason. The leaders take cover at once, eyes locked on the monster. From afar, they sense there is no escape, stunned by the unknown. Their whispered exchange draws the demon's focus. The danger sensor activates instantly. As Angwin reacts, both abandon caution and flee, each sprinting a different way. The instant they flee, a massive fireball slams into the exact place they were hiding moments before. Seeing the destruction, the second-in-command instantly imagines the worst possible outcome, lost in that thought. He fails to realize he is already trapped in the worst position. A ring of fire closes around him, and he instinctively flails, trying to push it away. His leader stands nearby but too far, frozen between saving him or staying back. Accepting the inevitable, the suited man falls into raw despair. He never thought he would burn alive before answering for his crimes. Eyes shut tight, he thinks only that he does not want to die like this. Nothing happens. The heat fades, and he realizes he is still alive. The flames vanish, and his teammate points ahead at the cause. A completely unhinged figure is gripping the demon with bare hands. Moonal lifts the monster by its neck, wearing his familiar maniac smile. Calumet wonders aloud if it was truly that powerful, staring with excitement. The Lotta creature's roar answers him with terrifying force. The sound shifts as the beast begins to tremble violently. The bloodthirsty maniac drains its energy, forcing even a demon to howl. The remaining men struggle to stand under the crushing pressure. In an instant, everything disappears, leaving only stone dust drifting away. The Black Squad stands frozen, stunned by what they just witnessed. Their shock draws the maniac's gaze, turning them into his next focus. Panicking, the leader shouts that they are fully exposed. With no escape left, they charge forward at full speed. Moonal barely moves, only revealing that he knows they reached the immortal spirit. The words halt them mid-charge, leaving them asking how he could know. Muno smiles with pure malice, confirming that his true target has reincarnated. The following day, a summit of the 7 remaining clans is announced at Celestial Peace. Journalists worldwide watch closely as the representatives arrive one by one. First comes the Hua Chaman leader, long white beard flowing, clad in Tibetan Nong attire. Cameras pan before shifting to the next leader arriving with his entourage. A muscular man in a long coat and styled hair appears, leader of the Gamsaman clan. Before reporters can react, another arrival catches them off guard. Holba storms in full of energy, already regretting his poor outfit choice. Lowering his voice, the Clamomator warns his vice to behave, irritating Young Woo. Haldic laughs it off, saying he could beat everyone anyway, though scrutiny remains over the Black Tiger fall. Young Woo replies sharply, saying he is in no mood after losing contact with his squad. He feels uneasy, sensing something wrong, and insists he must find them fast. His leader understands but urges him to focus, especially on the Celestial Peace head. A sudden voice interrupts, asking why anyone should fear her father. Young Woo instantly recognizes Ku Yunjung, his classmate. Annoyed by her presence, he asks why she is there, while Holvik silently observes. Before she can answer, a blond man with a goatee steps in, his red suit sharp, cutting the moment short. The man carries weight in every move. Che Menchil revealed as the commanding leader of the Celestial Peace clan. His daughter, Chiun Joan, the quiet nerd, quickly explains she attends the same class as the boy. Confused by the boy's role, he asks if he is the Diamond Gate heir, only to learn he leads a clan as vice. Halbeck does not hesitate. Realizing the prodigy girl stands before him, he openly offers his son in marriage. Tre Minshul interrupts at once, his grin mocking, clearly amused by the blunt proposal. He replies with matching enthusiasm, hinting that the goateed man plays a clever game. The charged air exposes their past, tension rising as if an old clash waits to resume. A journalist senses a story and steps closer, but a guard blocks him without effort. Sensing the noise growing, the leaders shift focus and move toward the meeting room. Xiul leads ahead, Li Hovek follows closely, with his vice, He Jiangwu, at his side. The nerd wastes no time, speaking again with Youngwoob, who admits her presence and knowledge surprise him. Before joining her father, she explains magic let her enter this world and master her clan's arts. She ends it at the doorway, welcoming him to her home with a calm, sincere smile. Outside, a lone young investigator watches the venue surrounded by reporters and guards. His thoughts drift back to the strange conversation he shared last night with the blonde man. Perched in a tree, he studies the scene while journalists ready themselves for interviews. He recalls that beside the Black Tiger-clad assault, a level 3 rift opened, yet the demon vanished. Central Command covered it up as a false alarm, though he knows the massacre ties to that disappearance. He stares at the building, searching faces, hoping to identify who caused both disasters. The effort drains him, frustration rising as his thoughts hit a dead end. He mutters complaints about his secret contact, who feeds clues but never full answers, shaking it off. The young singular vows to uncover the truth alone, no matter the cost. Inside the room, clan leaders sit around the table, trading empty formal words. The Tibetan monk leader grows impatient, openly irritated by the endless delays. Across from him, The stylish, muscular leader refuses to rush, calling the monk foolish. Their clash spreads tension through the group as voices rise over the meeting's pace. The monk finally snaps, slamming the table, accusing the Helbapang group and demanding justice. The Stadler leader answers back just as sharply, refusing to back down. He warns that provoking Peng could doom the nation, noting the group's backing from China. Minxiol, towering yet calm, intervenes and orders everyone to settle since this is not a battlefield. His words force Hoffa to sit again and admit he let anger take control. Holmik observes in silence, saying nothing as the room cools. Minxiol continues, stating that his review shows the evidence remains unclear. Now composed, the monk asks if someone is deliberately fueling conflict with China. The celestial peace leader avoids an answer, stating no one present could erase a clan so quickly. He then turns to Li Hulduk, asking for input after his long silence draws attention. All muscle and no tact. Leader Li says the Black Tiger clan fell simply because they were weak. Even Minxiol freezes, stunned by the blunt and careless conclusion. The elder beside him sighs heavily, silently condemning the brute's cruelty and poor judgment, feeling cornered by hostile stares. Hublek bristles and questions the reaction aimed at him. The host sidesteps the tension, choosing silence over further provocation. The brute rises abruptly, declaring the meeting finished since nothing more can be settled. The celestial peace leader closes the session, stating they will act in everyone's best interest. As the conference disperses, quiet discussion continues outside in a garden gazebo. Chai Yun-jum appears shy, softly noting the meeting may last longer than expected. Her hesitation fades as she decides to bring a cake she baked, leaving Young-woo puzzled. She asks if he wants cake, and he answers that he does. She rushes off instantly, not waiting for another word. Left alone, Young-woo feels disbelief, though the moment itself feels oddly fitting. His focus quickly leaves the girl and returns to plans that remain unchanged. He recalls a critical factor, the Black Squad, missing yet never insignificant. Lost in thought. His phone suddenly rings, pulling him back. He answers with quiet hope in his voice. That hope collapses into panic as he asks if something went wrong. Deep in the forest, a shallow pit shows clear signs of violent conflict. Young-woo and Assistant Kim stand together, examining where the squad vanished. To Young-woo, this scene is wrong. It was never a battlefield. He senses lingering energy, techniques echoing through the ground. He knows the Black Squad never stood a chance against that foe. His assistant freezes at the claim, asking if he is certain. Young-woo bolts off without replying, moving fast. He stops abruptly, instincts locking onto a familiar trail. Before him lies devastation, his subordinates shriveled and lifeless like mummies. Gasping, Assistant Kim catches up and asks what happened. The answer lies in plain sight, so clear it defies belief. A suited man screams in despair, confirming the grim truth. Rage and anguish merge as Young-woo calls out to his squad. He shouts, demanding how long they plan to lie there pretending to be corpses. At his voice, the squad responds, eyes slowly opening. They rise stiffly, like the dead clawing their way back. Assistant Kim recoils in shock, unaware such a thing was possible. With calm pride, Young-woo explains they cannot die under the immortal spirit effect. Back at Diamond Gate Base, daylight feels strangely brighter. Still recovering, they attempt to identify the attacker for their chief. The vice leader trembles, haunted by power he never knew existed. Ajamu studies the carved stone, suspicion already forming. He immediately criticizes Tai-san's sketch as crude and unstable. The boy demands the pencil with sharp authority. As he draws, his follower watches closely, learning in silence. The boy unveils a lifelike portrait, a face from a past life, the blood scholar reborn. The battered squad stares in shock. The sketch matches the attacker with brutal precision. Jambu shows no surprise, memory dragging him back to a fallen friend. He remembers striking Muno himself, unleashing every ounce of fury. Steel flashed, the blade tore through, leaving nothing whole behind. He was certain Muno died there, ended by his own hands. The zombie-like squad studies the drawing in silence, bodies weak, minds slow. Young-woo scans the image, forcing logic onto the impossible. He shivers, recalling the blood spirit sonification. Mumiel's cruel smile haunting him. Yet that is not the core threat. If Mumiel has found him, the blood scholar who spared his squad now lurks awake. Youngwoo accepts the truth. The enemy knows of his reincarnation, and he may be marked. Anxiety grips him. This foe feels calmer, quieter, far more patient than before. Deep in the forest, Asmak stumbles, his strength finally slipping. The blood-crazed maniac runs, hunted by a squad of singulars. Their resolve burns hot, yet they remain blind to his true might. He only wants distance, slipping past every strike without engaging. That restraint holds until boredom wins, and he chooses to erase them. A simple finger snap, and a singular's energy disappears. Panic spreads. The team scatters to defend. While Mumiel keeps walking, his twisted grin shows patience spent. The hunt already decided. He needs no effort to end it, only extending one hand. Fingers curl, clutching the energy thick in the air. At once, the pursuing singulars collapse. Chi absorption, draining them dry. They crumple down like withered fruit, falling one after another. Mumiel watches the result with clear delight, savoring his own power. Focus slips. He misses a sudden strike, a sword flashing from behind. The commander attacks, the one Mumiel nearly destroyed, rage driving him close before a narrow dodge. Mumiel laughs lightly, asking if this man truly commands the group. The one-eyed elder answers, Park Handon, commander of the association's 12th Battalion. The maniac responds in kind, naming himself Sure Mumiel. The commander presses him, demanding his origin and his masters. Mumiel shows only confusion, ignorant of governments or clans, his answer sounding mad. Another singular leader rushes in, ready to tear the truth free. Mumiel snaps his fingers again, targeting the one-eyed commander. He misjudges the blind spot. Park Handon dodges and closes in fast. Irritation flickers. The blood scholar did not expect this distance so soon. For the first time he commits, seizing the covered opponent's head directly. The blood-soaked mage prepares to drain more chi with his art. Yet the commander remains calm, hiding something unspent. He triggers his disassemble technique. His form breaks apart inside Mumiel's grasp, the result catching him completely off guard. He laughs aloud, amused by how engaging the man's technique feels. That curiosity snaps into warning as he senses another change. The body had disassembled. Now it reforms far too close. In a sudden reversal, the singular commander reforms with his blade, driving it in from behind, pressing for answers. Once more, Muno offers only his name, leaving the commander demanding more. Muno calmly asks for patience, claiming all will know him after he conquers Murim. The one-eyed commander dismisses the claim, confused and unaware of Murim itself. Still impaled, the madman stays firm, insisting he will restore it. Fully unsettled, the commander questions him again, doubting his own sanity. Before any action follows, shock overtakes him. Within seconds, his energy drains away under the blood scholar's control. He collapses beside his subordinates, all already emptied. Smiling faintly, the maniac turns his attention elsewhere. He seeks a reaction from the young man who sensed him coming. Jim stands recovered, the blonde stranger watching with visible interest. Above them, dark storm clouds churn and thicken. A lone figure floats within lightning and thunder. Death itself takes shape, a burning red skull and scythe hanging in the air. A blue dragon erupts from the clouds, roaring through the storm. They clash head-on, an explosive battle of roars and fury. Death slips past the dragon's claws, its scythe carving through scales. The blade traces a long cut along the massive body. Pain forces the dragon into a desperate, echoing roar. The sound jolts Yungru awake from the vision. He snaps upright, then shuts his eyes, locking every detail in. Understanding dawns as the meaning of the revelation settles. He stands with resolve and steps onto the balcony, gripping the railing, fully committed to his destination. Without pause, the boy leaps toward his goal. He slams down several stories below, leaving a crater behind. Ignoring the impact, he launches forward at full speed. Night lingers as dawn nears. Hajamu watches in shock, still in pajamas. The boy studies the scars of a massive battle fought moments ago. He understands the signs and feels immediate concern. The city still reels from the Black Tiger clan's fall, its command shattered. The Diamond Gate, as the nearest force, now holds authority. A restricted meeting is called without delay. Elder representatives brief the leader and Secretary Kim on two associations seeking shelter. Lee Hulga listens with boredom, suggesting both requests be denied. The bald man and elderly woman recoil, scolding him, reminding their leader he now governs the Black Tiger's former land. Secretary Kim snaps under the noise, shouting for everyone to stop talking. He demands the leader silence them himself, openly calling the pair old foxes. Both freeze in shock, clearly insulted by the sudden label. Even Leader Lee pauses, stunned by his secretary's outburst. Kim presses on, attacking Holik directly, accusing blind ambition, earning a sharp reprimand. Still defiant, the secretary insists this is simply his strong personality. The room falls into confusion, no one grasping what just happened. Someone mutters aloud, wondering if Kim ate something spoiled. Regaining control, the assistant speaks seriously, explaining workload doubled with less than half the staff. The bald man and elderly woman nod, agreeing it should be obvious. Kim explodes again, shouting that he alone must fix everything. The chief asks if recent conditions had not improved, believing progress was made. Still enraged, Kim reminds him he also vowed to avenge the Black Tiger clan. Pride fills the leader's face as he loudly declares his loyalty. The assistant challenges that claim, questioning his values, forcing Holbeck on defense. Without hesitation, Kim asks if the clan truly plans to face the Habapang. His boss answers with arrogance, declaring his clan unbeatable. Once more, Kim explains the danger, stressing the Habapang are a guild. For once, the leader pauses, actually considering the warning. Instead of answering, he wonders aloud where his vice leader is, always solving matters. Growing frustrated, he questions Hajomo's absence even outside the base. Kim calmly reports the boy is missing and unreachable by all contact. Lee Holbeck suspects this may link to the Black Squad incident. Far away, Young-woo sits alone at a quiet cafe table. He lowers his face, appearing lost in thought. In truth, his expression twists, fixated on his eternal rival's reincarnation. He knows the earlier explosion could only be his work, likely clashing with Muno. He recalls the dream, reading it as proof they already fought. Excitement mixes with worry, realizing he stayed sealed away too long. A harsh voice cuts in, rudely ordering him to leave. Two massive guards loom, demanding he vacate the reserved space. Remaining seated, Young-woo calmly asks who this young master might be. The guards answer for Pain Dushian, heir of the Habapang, who hates commoners. With dry sarcasm, the boy stands slowly, pretending ignorance, questioning the commotion. One guard responds with a brutal strike to his stomach. He is hurled down the corridor, tables crashing aside. The protagonist has no intention of ending it there. Rising steadily, he complains about another fight interrupting his rare peace. Before he can act, something unexpected is suddenly thrown at him. The remaining guard scatters stacks of bills, trying to buy silence and force a quiet exit. Before Young-woo even chooses to rise, both guards snap to attention. They bow deeply to their master, apologizing for failing to clear the trash. Pain Dushian enters, lilac hair marking his bloodline, arrogance filling the space. The young heir sits like the place belongs to him, feet up, posture careless. He berates his guards for failing to handle the problem properly. As one turns back to finish the task, Young-woo is already gone. From afar, Young-woo watches Pain Dushian carefully. He did not expect the heir to arrive in the country so soon. Focus sharp, Young-woo already suspected Habapang would react after the Black Tiger fall. Knowing their move fuels influence struggles. Young-woo chooses to handle this himself, leaving Mumiel and his rival aside. Lost in thought, he is startled once more by a sudden presence. A white-haired youth approaches, attempting intimidation without restraint. Young-woo ignores the insult, calmly asking if the boy even knows him. The stranger answers with a question, fully aware Young-woo has no clue who he is. Without warning, he launches a burst of fire magic, promising another meeting. Young-woo evades easily, concluding the attacker is unhinged. The strike ends as fast as it began, leaving Young-woo irritated. The sudden flames catch Pain Dushian's eye from a nearby building. Moments later, the rooftop is empty, Young-woo returning to search. The attacker has vanished, leaving only questions behind. At the Celestial Peace Gate, diplomacy resumes once again. A new council gathers, clan leaders seated around the table. A door opens, announcing the arrival of Pain Dushian. His towering guards in the air enter without observing any decorum. The host rises to greet him, only to be ignored. The blatant disrespect leaves the host frozen. Pain Dushian commands attention, stating he did not come to socialize. The leaders criticize his posture and unchecked arrogance. Unbothered, he declares that an internal conflict caused another Habapang heir to vanish. He follows by claiming Habapang will seize full control of the investigation. The monk leader erupts, demanding the boy show proper respect. Pain Dushian answers with action, proving he is not bluffing. He smashes the table with one hand, splinters exploding outward. Several leaders recoil, stunned by the sudden violence. Holvik stiffens, ready to answer force with force. The heir demands the culprit be surrendered at once, rejecting outside interference. As expected, Holguk rises laughing, mocking the boy's confidence. Though within his rights, the host chastises him, reminding this is a formal council. Ever combative, leader Lee Naoyun questions whether his colleague could truly stop him. Using his authority, the Celestial Peace Clan head authorizes an attack on Holbik if he makes a move. The clan representatives rise together, tension sharp, all prepared for conflict. Lee Holbeck only smiles, showing he feels no pressure at all. Without pause, he activates his divine shield, daring them to test his limits. Even the arrogant heir senses the hostility and judges their behavior as crude. He states again that the investigation now belongs to Hava Peng. Warning interference means war. Near the Celestial Peace Gate gazebo, Young-woo waits patiently for the meeting to end. Lost in thought, he wonders how the debate will conclude and what the heir truly hides. Jiamu stands rigid and serious, deciding silently not to interfere yet. Suddenly, Shaggy and Jung come running toward him, waving eagerly. The interruption catches him off guard despite being near familiar ground. The girl arrives demanding why he vanished, and he offers a vague excuse about emergencies. She shifts topics, questioning his long absence again, while he quietly avoids answering. From afar, the girl's father watched the exchange, standing beside another clan leader in silence. He told his counterpart that Young-woo caused the recent surge of the Diamond Geek clan. The monk asked what the bearded leader intended to do next. The bearded man explained Habapeng had Chinese government backing, which confused the monk. He added they must comply with Habapeng and avoid conflict at any cost. The monk agreed reluctantly, still unsure why this path mattered. He then revealed his greatest concern behind all these decisions. Convincing Li Hobart to accept Habopang terms seemed nearly impossible. The elder doubted it, recalling how the brute nearly fought everyone alone. As Young-woo spoke with the nerd, the father said only Young-woo could pressure the Diamond Gate leader. At the gazebo, the teens talked smoothly until a familiar boy arrived. Jumble recognized him instantly and grew visibly uneasy. Xie Yunjiang greeted him warmly, calling him brother without hesitation. Young-woo struggled to accept the rooftop lunatic as the girl's brother. She introduced them, saying Juhomium was her clan's successor and childhood companion. The boy stepped closer, draped an arm over Young-woo, reminding her they were meant to marry. Young-woo froze at the word marriage, while Homiho accused him of flirting. Before any defense, the boy threw a punch and started the fight. Elsewhere, at the Celestial Peace Gate, events unfolded fast as Lee Holduk and Kang searched for Jung-woo. Unable to reach him, the leader grumbled they should not have separated. Kang Cheon said even if he asked, Jung-woo would never explain. Fed up, Holduk decided to drop the issue. He recalled how the other 6 leaders grew excited earlier, activating his power for fun. His son warned him against reckless use, but the brute felt thrilled, craving battle for years. A nearby explosion suddenly drew both their attention. Back at the gazebo, teenage conflict escalated rapidly. Hong Byung launched an attack using fire magic, Cheyu and Joan screamed, unable to grasp his sudden hostility. He told her to step aside, calling it a matter between men. Another fiery blast shot toward his romantic rival. From afar, the two leaders watched as the celestial peacehead revealed a secret weapon. The elder warned this clash could worsen interclan tensions. The bearded leader stayed calm, saying it was personal and contained. As they debated, the disciple of celestial peace pressed harder with flames. Youngwoo blocked and deflected as best he could. Still, a few attacks broke through and struck him. The boy kept charging, refusing to slow down. Suddenly, the nerd stepped in to shield her classmate, stunning both fighters. Homion erupts, voice sharp, ordering the girl to retreat without another step. She stands firm, refusing, saying he already crossed a line he cannot undo. Confused by the accusation, the boy asks what crossing a line truly means. Memory cuts back to childhood, when he was 10 and first met her. She recognized him through her maid, treating him casually and asking how he was. Before replying, the boy presents a gift, remembering it was her birthday. Young Yoonjeom accepts it warmly, smiling with open delight. The present vanishes moments later, torn away without warning. Her father, the clan leader, appears instantly, demanding to know the boy. The boy bows politely, smiling, saying he is a Chloride Squad candidate. The leader responds with visible anger, his hostility impossible to miss. The boy freezes, unable to grasp why the mood turned hostile. Even Yoon Young begins crying after seeing her father's harsh expression. Chief Minshil shows no mercy, already pushing the boy away from his daughter. That night, Home Young hides alone, curled in darkness. A training squad member finds him, casually mentioning the leader's daughter incident. The boy stays silent, tears falling, while the trainer calls it inevitable. Anger surges as the boy protests. The man only laughs it off. The trainer explains calmly, strength is required to claim the leader's daughter. The words burn deep. The boy repeats them, hearing the strongest takes everything. Driven by resolve, he trains harder than anyone in the squad. He even pushes into danger, climbing where mistakes mean injury. In the arena, he dominates, no opponent able to defeat him. As he grows, he challenges groups at once, always demanding more fights. Back in the present, he grips the nerd girl's shoulders, saying it was all for her. Cha Eun-jun frowns, openly uncomfortable with his overwhelming strength. Frustration explodes. Home-young yells, demanding recognition for his sacrifices. Her discomfort deepens. She orders him to stop, pulling away. He shouts louder, desperate, believing volume might force understanding. He questions her feelings, recalling her talking calmly with Young-woo. He remembers her awkward attempt to bring a gift to someone uninterested. He screams, asking why she would choose death like Young-woo over him. Losing control, he declares she now needs his permission for everything. She refuses instinctively, activating her magic and forcing him back. He tries to recover, speaking softer, but the moment has passed. Disappointment shows clearly. She again asks him to stop right there. Homion stands speechless, stunned by where his actions led. Overcome by sorrow, he suddenly lunges toward the girl. Young-woo intervenes instantly, striking him and stepping in as her shield. Even the protagonist bristles, visibly tired of the escalating drama. The boy ignores everything else, anger surging so hard his body shakes uncontrollably. Keeping his calm tone, Hajumbo explains he held back, trusting it was a misunderstanding. But patience has limits. Offended and provoked, Homon shifts into attack mode, claiming his rival seeks death. The dark prodigy is done holding back, craving a fight to vent his pent-up rage. He never expected his opponent to strike first with such speed. In that instant, he senses something wrong, his body refusing to move. Hongyun presses in without pause, throwing another blow while questioning Youngwoo interference. This time, Youngwoo dodges, asking if that twisted obsession really counts as love. Countering sharply, he calls it coercion and raw violence, nothing more. He repeats the word arrangement with clear sarcasm aimed at D-Strike design. Fueled by wounded pride, Homon claims no one understands all he sacrificed for her. Both fighters freeze as a new voice cuts into the conflict. Yoon Young speaks firmly, saying she never asked for any of this. She states clearly those feelings were his alone, never hers. Homan pride wavers, his shadow of confidence cracking. Realizing his feelings were never returned, frustration overwhelms him. Sensing danger, Youngwoo tells the nerd to step back, but she hesitates. When she insists on staying, he shouts for her to leave immediately. The command finally breaks her resolve and she complies. She activates her magic, opening a portal and warning her classmate to stay safe. Homion laughs hysterically, disbelief twisting his expression. Humiliation turns lethal as he vows to end Youngwoo for good. He charges forward without restraint, revenge driving every step. Elsewhere, the monk leader questions Minchul methods, but Minchul says only victory matters. The elder glares at him, judging his priorities while his daughter remains in danger, reading the tension. The celestial peace leader admits his cold image and urges the elder to look around. When he does, he notices young Pam watching the fight intently. He also sees other clan leaders already present, silently observing the violent dispute. The bearded leader explains that even unofficial, Youngwoo defeat would weaken his clan position. Back in the fight, Homion resumes his relentless chain of attacks. Once more, Youngwoo realizes he has been immobilized again. He takes the full impact of a blazing strike head-on. Even so, his opponent shows no satisfaction and prepares another assault. Blow after blow crashes into Youngwoo without mercy. From afar, his friend Kang Chan watches helplessly. Lee Holbeck grows thoughtful, recognizing the opponent's style and confirming his doubts. Kang Chan asks what power lets the boy withstand such pressure. Hulvigoli answers that it is a rare attribute with no recorded data. Youngwoo begins reading the attack pattern, realizing the paralysis comes from that strange attribute. Believing he dodged in time, he suddenly notices his enemy standing dangerously close. The strike lands too close to evade. He loses balance and slams hard into the ground. It looks like his first loss this life. Body broken, breath shaken, impact still ringing, as Home Young steps in to end it. A shift sparks inside the prodigy. His gaze sharpens, resolve burning. He chooses the only path left. Home Young shapes a giant fighter fist, magic swelling and crushing the air. Kang Chun and his father shout from afar, praying Youngwoo moves in time. Fire surges from the boy, racing forward, the blast tearing the space apart. Clan leaders freeze. Power like that should close the battle for good. Kang Chun never doubts him. His eyes catch a sign the others miss. Youngwoo surges back in, dark prodigy rising, untouched as if nothing hit. Shock spreads through the field. Even the loud rival falls silent. Youngwoo grins, pride steady, already reading his enemy's confusion. Home Young cannot grasp how his hidden truth was exposed. He strains to seize control, forcing his will to hold. Before he moves, Youngwoo's next punch crashes in, loaded with fury. Panic hits as power fades, senses slipping, awareness breaking apart. His mind drifts, memories surface. The trainer from his past returns. That man always waited for him, steady support after brutal training. He even shared advantages, hinting at what future trials would demand. Those gestures cut deep, filling the boy with gratitude and trust. Then the memory shifts. The night everything shattered comes back. At his peak, he ran to say he led the Chloride Squad branch. The trainer hugged him, still believing he could lead it all. He said he needed more strength and help to reach that height. Then the faithful ally twisted. Darkness breaking through. Teenage Home, Young struck from behind, grief heavy, joy absent. Tears fell as he acted, driven by need for the attribute. Bleeding. The trainer said he would have given it freely. Sobbing, Home Young confessed. His attribute stole power only by killing. The reply came